And a howdy. Welcome back to SciTrek, your sci-fi TV and movie channel. It's Sci-Fi Sundays. How are y'all, Sarah and Jay?
Good.
I'm doing good, baby. How you doing?
I'm doing, man. I'm doing. The weekend been all right for everybody so far?
Yes.
Besides, I guess, what day does Strange New Worlds come out? Is that Wednesday or Friday?
Thursday.
I see it
Thursday. So right into weekend. Did that set the tone for the weekend, or has the weekend been all right besides a little strange? It's a little strangeness.
Yeah.
It depends what episode you're getting.
Yeah.
It's been a bit of a mixed bag.
Yeah.
I genuinely can't remember what the second episode was about, and I did a video on it. It must have been so memorable.
Zombies?
Was it the zombies? No, was that the zombies? Was the second episode? Was that the zombies?
I think so.
What are we on now? The fifth one's coming up. So yeah, it was the end to the thingy.
Or was that the third one? Maybe
Trelawney. Yeah, of course it was. Zombies, Trelawney, and then the one we just had.
Yeah, which
something happened in it.
It's an episode that exists.
There's an awful lot of that with Strange New Worlds. Well, yeah, that happened.
Before we dive into the craziness, y'all want to just say what we've watched this week to get the day started?
Yeah, that's right.
Sure.
There you go.
I'm having a Christian Bale Batman a couple of days. I watched the first two yesterday. I'm not going to watch the last one tonight. Because I'm having a bit of a Batman run. Partly because I bought the cars. And wait a second, where's the tumbler? Here, tumbler. Get off you. And I bought the tumbler.
So, cool.
With Christian Bale in it. The real Christian Bale. Will the real Christian Bale please stand up?
A real Christian Bale.
You grabbed him from Wells and then did the Honey I Shrunk the Kids Ray on him.
I like it. Right? Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Yep.
I vacuum packed him. And, dehydrated him. But yeah. What have I watched else in the week? I've had a bit of a Star Trek run as well. Because people kept telling me I've seen this bit where the Gorn are sat in the background in a thing, and I couldn't remember which film it is. And it is the motion picture. And people keep saying, it's not a Gorn, it's another lizard thing. It looks like a freaking Gorn to me. It looks like the Gorn from the original series. So there's another species that look exactly like the Gorn, apparently, in Star Trek. But I've watched, I'm up to Star Trek 4. And oh my God, Star Trek 4 might be the best Star Trek movie. It's so good. It's gloriously stupid, but it's so good. And that's about it, really. Sci-fi wise. I'm watching the, what's that TV show that's really popular at the moment on NBC? And it's, is it Tracker?
Oh, is that any good?
I quite like it. It's sort of like, I want to go to bed in a minute sort of TV.
Right.
So I mean, it's sort of like, it's nice and it's gentle, and I'm not going to get too overexcited about it. And then, you know, he finds the person in the end, and I go, yay! And then I go to sleep. It's that sort of show. I'm not sort of going to be, oh, I must watch the next one. And then I'm up till like 2 o'clock in the morning, which happens sometimes. If it's a show I like.
Do you like it as much as Reacher or anything like that?
No.
It's kind of like, it's that light, right? Would that be an easy way to say that?
Reacher's just not light, is it? At times.
Well, no, Tracker would be like Reacher light. Would that be a way of saying that?
Yeah, I suppose so, yeah. It's a bit like, it's like The Rookie or something like that. It's just, you know, it's very formulaic. Stuff happens. It's not really funny at any point, where the Rookie's quite funny sometimes, but but yeah, it's that sort of show. I like it. My Klingon bird of prey moved. Why are you there?
Oh yeah.
A slight little notice.
I think every so often I hit this cupboard and it wobbles, and I think things move. But what you can do? Go on, click. What have you been watching, Sarah?
Well, Strange New World, we'll talk about that later. Haven't caught up on this week's episode of Foundation yet, but I'm finally watching Loki season 2. Just a little bit late on that. But finally, SGU, watched a lot of SGU this past week.
Poor thing.
To prepare for our thing. So I basically rewatched the whole series again.
Oh, you poor thing. Does it get better towards the end again? My memory is it does get better in the second season. But
Yeah, no, it's the end of season 2. Like this time watching it made me like miss that it ended because it was getting really good with the, the people, the group that traveled back 2,000 years and that whole storyline and the drones, and it was like actually like built, like you could see like something good starting to develop, and then it's like nope.
Anyway, it's just the first season. You got to.
Yeah, you have to kind of power through that a bit. But yeah, there's some good things in there. It's not completely horrible, but it's not really exciting. It's a lot of building the world and establishing characters, and yeah,
it's just boring. Very serious SGU, isn't it? That's the thing. That's for me. I think it just takes itself a little bit too seriously.
It does. The humor starts kind of coming back in, and towards the end of season 2 too, though. So that's good. Also watching Countdown, which is not science fiction.
Boo! British. I'm on about there, but you guys won't know what I'm talking about. I'll have a pee, please, Bob. Sorry, that's Blockbusters. Again, you've got no idea what I'm talking about. I can't beat a bit of bully. People from Britain are watching it going, I remember that. It's only a frame boys coming games and shout. Snooker, loopy, that's all we. Sorry. Okay.
We're just like, okay.
Okay. My childhood. The Bullseye was the one TV show, and that's the one I can't beat a bit of bully, and it was a darts like TV show where you play that and you can win a prize. It's like a game show sort of thing. But I always said I used to have 2 prizes in the background, and if they lost, they pushed a boat in. And I go, oh, look what you could have won, a boat. And the other one was like a fucking washing machine or something. Because
right.
Oh, they've won! Push out the washing machine quick! It's like, hey, look, you've won a washing machine. Hide the boat. So it seems to be that every week on that TV show. Sorry, I was like, okay. What were you saying? Countdown. What's Countdown?
Yeah, I have no idea what it is.
It's on Amazon Prime. It's Jensen Ackles.
Oh, is it that new one?
I haven't seen that yet. I saw it.
Yeah. It's
good.
I don't know if it's awesome. It's. I'm enjoying watching it. It's not like the best thing ever or whatever, but it's a good show. It's solid.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying
it. Now search. There's Countdown. There's my Countdown. Did it. Boo!
All the above.
Yeah.
Countdown is basically quite popular because they have it on during the day, and then they have what they do. It's like a word game, so you pick letters, and it's a consonant or a vowel, and then you have to like make a word out of it. But what they've done very cleverly is have very pretty women. There's been 2 now, of very pretty women that put the numbers up. So you look at her bottom for most of the episode, but then they're really intelligent. So they have like math geniuses that do it, and then they have a thing where they pick out like 6 numbers and they put it up. And then they give a total, and you've got to use those numbers to figure out the total. And when they can't get it, the pretty girl always does the math. It's always amazing. So, like, well, when you have the 4 and times it by the 9 and divide it by the 6 and divide it by the 4, you get 273. And I'm like, do you? I'm getting a calculator going, yeah, how'd you do that in her head? So, yeah, pretty girl with brains. So sexy. What are we talking about?
Yes.
This is only my
science fiction
one. First one.
Yeah. It's a little early in the day for me to be doing that. I wish.
It's only 10:30 on this part of the world.
I'm just kidding. Yeah. Just finished my coffee.
What's Countdown about?
It's sort of like 24 in some ways. It's kind of like a crime drama meets 24 kind of thing. They're like, this big terrorist thing's gonna happen and they're chasing it down kind of thing.
Yeah, I've seen that show. It's called 24. I've seen it.
Yeah.
Or what was that back thing where the woman's found and she's covered in tattoos and they find her in a bag in Central Square? What was that?
Oh my gosh, I remember the show, but I'm like drawing a blank on the name.
That'll do. Black something. It sounds like that. Oh, there's terrorists. Let's get the terrorists. Terrorists bad.
Mm-hmm. It's that kind of thing. So it's not like super original, but it's just I'm enjoying it. It's kind of Jensen Ackles being more serious.
I do like Jensen Ackles.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I do like Jensen Ackles.
Mm-hmm.
He needs a big project. He's a cool actor.
Yeah.
I like.
Mm-hmm.
He's a tracker occasionally. He's
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Tracker's brother.
Oh wow.
He just is. Anything else you want, Sarah? And I'll try not to interrupt you this time.
I think that's it. I watched Jason Momoa shaving off his beard. Just funny.
That was interesting. Doing
Yeah.
3.
Weird. He looks weird in Conan because he's got no fucking beard. He looks weird.
Mm-hmm.
About to be in that DC movie. I thought they were about to start filming that. The character's got a goatee in that. Yeah, Lobo's got a beard, hasn't he? Unless he's doing something else. I don't know if that's gone into production yet. To be fair, I don't think it has.
Honestly, I think sometimes Lobo has a beard. Most of the time, I don't know. Let's do the Google search real quick.
Here you go. No goatee.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a beard there. That's kind of cool.
Beard in almost all of those. Yes.
Okay.
He's got a beard on, but I don't think it's going to. I don't think Supergirl's gone to production yet. So.
Yeah.
I thought it was done filming.
Has it already been done? Actually, there's pictures of him on a motorbike, isn't it?
Yeah. Because he already wrapped filming on it.
You're right.
Uh-huh.
Right. So let's see what happens with that one. There you go. No, I think you're right. If it's not done, it's nearly done. They're in principal photography. They were about a month ago because we saw some pictures of him as Lobo, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
So maybe he shaved it off for whatever his next thing is then.
Dune.
Yeah, it's for Dune 3.
Yeah.
I'd forgotten he's doing that. I'd forgotten all about
Yeah.
You missed him for one Dune, and now he's going to be in every other Dune possible, and then
Dune 3. When did they do a second one? I remember the Rock.
Last year?
2 years ago. It was still just Dune Part 2 technically, but it was Dune 2.
I don't think I saw that.
Oh, we talked about it a lot.
Yeah.
Did we?
Yeah.
June. You're saying Doom or June? You're saying June.
Dune.
You meant Doom.
Doom. No.
Of course, June. We tried to do June. I was going to say, I don't remember there being a Doom movie coming. There are rumors about a Doom movie, but you actually convinced me then that Jason Momoa is going to be the big Doom movie.
Taking over for The Rock. No more.
Too much stuff in this brain. I'm sorry I've had to shave my head so it can cool down a little bit. Like supercomputers, I have to cool them.
Put the AC right at it so you can cool down, get some good computing power.
That's why I've done this. Not because I'm bald as a coot and it's just getting embarrassing. Might be one of those two things. I'm very tired. Leave me alone. What have you done, Harris?
Well, this week, Twisted Metal finally came back out. So I watched the first episode of it, and that was fun. It's not the greatest series in the world, but damn, it's a good time. I still haven't watched Sandman season 2 or the rest of it or caught up on Foundation. So those three things, I'm like kicking myself out.
I've been watching Sandman as well. The last 2 episodes are shit.
Really?
It's so boring. I haven't watched the last one to be fair, but the episode 11 is just boring. I won't ruin it for you because spoilers and all that. But I'll put it this way: everyone's wearing black and it's very somber.
Is Neil Gaiman not involved with the production this time around because of all of his, I guess, allegations or everything?
His name's still all over it. But
totally.
Why it got cancelled, wasn't it? About halfway through, they realised they weren't getting a 3rd season.
Aye.
Because in the comics, the Sandman comes back like Sherlock Holmes did. I won't say any more than that. But I like he says. I like I got a spectrum of 40k. I thought it was going to be like Commodore 16. At least I got 48k. But they're not going to, and part of the reason is everyone said, "Oh, it's bombed." Actually, Sandman did really well for Netflix. They're really happy with it, but it's the allegations. It's sort of like.
Well, it feels like they lost the plot because they had their own little world going, and then they added Dead Boy Detectives and whatever else they did, and that was okay. It was all right. I don't know what audience. It was like it was too raunchy, too dirty for an actual, I guess, teen audience, but it was like aimed towards teens at the same time. It was a little funky.
Yeah. I preferred the first season after they did the whole I'm stuck in a vase thing. Once they got rid of that, I thought the second half of the season was actually really good. This season is pretty much one storyline. So that's a bit more interesting rather than being like three different chapters sort of thing. This is just one storyline.
Like from like the producers kind of point of view, what do you think they handled it almost like they did from season 1 of The Witcher to season 2, where like season 1 was an amalgamation of different timelines and scenes, and you're kind of trying to piece it together. They're trying to trick you a little bit with their cinematography and what's going on and where. And then season 2 onward is just straightforward.
No, I don't know about it. Right. So the first season was like 3 of the graphic novels.
Yeah, it was just more.
Yeah,
not one.
Is like one story. So this is like one graphic novel. So there's no like weird jump in the third. You know, like the first season. Now they've got the whole I'm stuck in a vase, and then they had the whole thing with the
Raven.
You know, in my head. No, well they had
the library keeper.
No, the guy with the eyeballs for chewy eye thing is for eyeballs. Oh, I do that. Corinthian. So the whole bit with the Corinthian, which I really liked. And then they had another little storyline as well where the whole bit with Death came into his sister Death. So that was like the 3 parts of the first season. It was literally like 3 completely different stories. This season is one big long story. There's one story to it.
Okay. I might need to catch up on that season 1 first, honestly, because I was like, well, what is going on? But yeah, no, there are a few things to catch up on. Twisted Metal is good, though. The roommates and I watched Naked Gun a little bit last night. The original one, not the...
oh, thank God. I really don't want to watch the new one.
Oh, I'm so excited. We're going to try to see it tomorrow.
I want to get like an egg whisker and go up my bottom rather than watch that film.
Oh, I'm so excited.
I don't want to watch it. I just think it looks stupid. But I got to give it a go because obviously you can be wrong, can't you? But
my fingers are as crossed as they can be for this one. I just want a good comedy to actually make some money in movie theaters and be good as well.
It's not making money either. It's really not doing well so far. We got to get numbers for the end of the weekend, but the Thursday previews weren't good.
Shoot,
like 3 million or something for the opening week for opening night.
It's not. God, I thought it was sold out in a bunch of places. Actually, I thought it was going to be a little surprise, but
first night didn't do great. But I mean, it's a comedy though, so the budget won't be ridiculous. So it can still break. It doesn't have to make a fortune to break even, like Superman and Fantastic Four. It doesn't have to make 500 million to make money.
Yep.
I did not spell the word budget right, but let's see how much. Oh, it says about Naked Gun budget 25.
Yeah, see, I mean, it'll make that. So it's only going to make about $50 or $60 million to break even.
Yeah. Okay, it's not really giving me a budget for it yet. Okay. Yeah. So besides that, I guess just Twisted Metal, Stargate Universe, of course, some Farscape. For some Farscape Trion. Rick and Morty finished at season 8, and it was sad. It was really sad. It was really good, but really sad and funny. But really sad. They're good about getting down there.
Can't be bothered.
All right.
I'll give it a go.
We've been doing this pilot around here, and it's been a little bit more spooky focused. I've had some What We Do in the Shadows and Wellington Paranormal on, and while I've had a little, New Zealand, there's a New Zealand Taskmaster series on right now, so I've been watching the New Zealand Taskmaster, and then Resident Alien. I think. Oh, and I watched Ghost of Miss Mere, an old one. Just trying to get in the spooky mood for shooting this pilot.
I'm so sad that Resident Alien has got cancelled.
It sucks. I get it from just the way the season's been handled, but
well, they knew it was going to get cancelled when they produced it, so they knew basically. But I'm just ashamed they didn't try and get it. One of the big reasons was they were up on their 7-year contract was all up, and they just didn't want to. They were just like, this is going to cost a fortune to renew. Even though we only got 4 seasons in 7 years, stupid COVID. But it's just, I don't think it's ever been as popular as it deserved to be. But now it's on Netflix. I would have thought that would pick it up. You know, I thought Netflix might be tempted, but they don't think it's going to be. They don't think anyone's going to pick it up.
Well, it's just it. I guess it went from the Sci-Fi Channel after season 3, and this is its first season in USA Network or something like that, I believe. And
you have to tell me in America. Over here, it's on a Sky Channel.
Okay. A new production company, not necessarily the views they're looking for, not the audience that they thought they might have. They didn't spend the money that they probably should have for this season because season 3 set up so many cool things, and season 4 is like, okay, we have cool things, and we're gonna dial them back by about 8 points real quick and just let them just mellow. And it's like, okay, you have a cool cyborg dude, do something with it. You have Linda Hamilton, do something with her. You have this cool space organization on Earth, do something with it, and they just don't. Again,
it's budgets getting cut. There was all over the place, and they knew it was going to come to the end, so they weren't going to spend that much money on it, probably.
Sadly, yeah. Sci-fi, expensive computer stuff and props. They passed.
I'll tell you what, before we ask Star Trek, I do have a question for you guys, and I'm starting to worry more and more. It does feel like sci-fi is not. It's just not getting made at the moment. I mean, we've got Alien Earth coming.
Yeah.
We're getting a few comic book movies still. What sci-fi series are actually running at the moment? They're any good? And I'm not including Star Trek in that. If you take out Star Trek and Star Wars, right, what is actually getting made at the moment that you actually get excited about to watch?
Rick and Morty, Futurama, Solar Opposites,
Futurama don't count.
They have more views than any of the larger series, and they're not still sci-fi.
They're not really sci-fi. They're primarily comedy.
Sure, that doesn't negate the sci-fi aspect of them.
All right, for the tools in the audience, let's eliminate cartoons and sci-fi. What sci-fi is there? We've got Stranger Things coming, but that's coming to an end. X-Files might get made, but it's still looking. I'm still not 100% certain it's happening.
Yeah.
The remake, but that's again another bloody remake. We're not getting Babylon 5. We're not getting Battlestar Galactica. Stargate is still sat in a bin somewhere. Right. Apple Plus are the only ones doing anything. They've got Foundation.
Yeah.
And they are getting another season of that. We're getting another season of Silo on Apple.
Yeah, Silo.
Murderbot was just.
I'm like, I know. I'm like, there's something obvious I'm not thinking of. That was it. Murderbot.
We're getting another season of Murderbot.
Invasion as well.
I didn't like Invasion. We're getting another season.
It doesn't mean it's not there.
I couldn't watch it.
All the Predator stuff, all the Alien stuff. We're in an embarrassment of riches with Predator and Alien right now. Fallout's a great
Predator stuff point. Is good.
Yeah.
And we are getting another series of Fallout. Yeah.
I actually think we have more sci-fi right now than we've had in a decade. Especially considering.
I don't feel like it is. I feel like there's an awful lot of we don't even seem to have an awful lot of fantasy coming. I don't know. Maybe it's just because Star Trek is so weak that I'm and we get a few series that are just 10 episodes again. So I don't know. When I was a kid, it felt like there was always something to watch.
Right.
And now it just doesn't. Dune Prophecy is a couple of years off, and I'm not watching 2099. I don't like Blade Runner movies.
Good.
It's just kind of boring. I don't know. It just felt like when I was, even just a few years ago, we had a golden age of Star Trek and Star Wars coming. I don't know. Maybe it's because they're 10 episode runs and it feels like they're over before they start. It just doesn't feel like there's as much. But
there's a whole bunch, but it's just like you're saying, it pops out and it's done. And with a lot of the companies just releasing them all at once, you watch it in a weekend and you forget about it a month later.
Yeah, maybe that's why.
Yeah.
I don't think there's much sci-fi though that I'm getting really excited about. I don't get excited about Star Trek anymore. Star Wars I've never loved, so I can't really get excited about that. I don't even get excited about Foundation. I'll watch it, but I don't when's the next episode out? I'm not like that at all. I think maybe that's what I mean. There isn't much sci-fi at the moment that I get excited about. Murderbot was the last one that I was like, right, when's it out? When's the next episode on? And before that, it was like Picard season 3. There just doesn't feel like there's much out there that I'm excited. When when TNG was on DS9 Voyager, every week I was like, right, when's it on? 6 o'clock on a Thursday. I'm sat there waiting for it. I'm like really excited about it. I just don't think there is at the moment. Dune Prophecy. I'm not bothered. Is that Dune Prophecy, the series that they did? Because I couldn't.
Yeah.
I couldn't watch it.
Yeah.
One episode. I couldn't watch it because it was so
I still
slow.
haven't watched it yet either.
Yeah, I mean,
I enjoyed it. I thought it was. I mean, it's not like super exciting, but I found it interesting. But I'm fine with more of a slower, more intricate story kind of thing going on.
Yeah,
but,
I'm easily distracted. I'm like, ooh,
yeah,
it's shiny over there.
Yeah.
I need to be, I need to be like locked into it, sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know. I think Murderbot is the only thing that's come out in the last 12 months that I'm like excited. Don't get me wrong, Alien Earth. I'm going to be right. When's the first episode out? Let's get into this. Come on, and
that's what I'm excited about. Yeah,
yeah. I won't say how I know, but I know for a fact the first 3 episodes are awesome. So I mean, it's get excited, but yeah. So I'm excited about that, but I can't wait for the next Predator. I can't wait for Badlands.
That looks good too.
Yeah, and I know what's coming next as well, and I can't tell you. We're getting more of the. I can say that we're getting more of the animated though. We're getting more the thing of beasts. I forget what it's called. We're getting another thing of that. Did you see? Like, I love the re-edit they did. You seen like the little additional bit they did with and it's got Arnie or Butch and a Dutch and Thingy from Predator 2, and they're
in Killer of Killers.
Yeah, Killer of Killers.
That's the extra ending. I haven't watched the extra ending yet or whatever, but
yeah. But
there's an extra ending. I gotta watch that.
We are getting Arnie back in, but it's probably going to be animated. It's probably going to be Killer of Killers. There is another Killer of Killers planned.
Cool.
Right, the first Interstellar I hate because it's stupid. It's not science. It's more fiction than science. And then everyone, it's so accurate, it's so science. And I'm like, oh no, it isn't. Piss off. And I just don't. I love the original Blade Runner. I didn't love the reboot they did, but it isn't. It is a bit slow for me. I have to be in the mood to watch it. Put it that way.
Okay.
It's not the sort of film I'll just sit and watch. Oh, I fancy that. Like I could watch Predator any day of the week, and I've probably watched that movie about 30 times. I know it inside out. Blade, I have to like be in the mood for it. Interstellar, I have to be really drunk or just in an angry mood, and I want something to yell at. I think maybe I understand the science a bit better than some people. I'm just like, that's bullshit. But yeah.
It's just
speaking of things that make you feel that way, how was that new episode of Strange New Worlds?
Fucking awful.
Oh, bad. Really bad. It's the first time I've watched any new Trek and been like, that's really bad. Which is saying something.
2001: A Space Odyssey is a classic, but again, I wouldn't just sit and watch it any time. Again, I have to be in the mood for it. I have to be in the headspace for 2001, and it's just like I wouldn't just watch it any time. But yeah, I don't blame you. I don't blame you, Arnie. Christ, bad.
You said yesterday on Farscatrion that you thought, okay, all the new Trek so far, it hasn't like driven you up a wall. It's just kind of been like, okay, it's kind of middling out to a degree, and then this is the one that was like, no, right?
Yeah, for me, yeah.
Okay.
This was like, even the musical episode, as much as I didn't like it, this episode, like I said, it's the first time I watched any new Trek and been like, this is really bad.
I've not liked the whole season, right? So.
I mean, like I said, it hasn't all been great, but this is the first one where it's like really like, oof.
Yeah. I've liked bits in all of the episodes. So I will emphasize that I've really enjoyed bits in all of them, and I even enjoyed bits in the last one, in episode 4. There were bits in that I sort of went, but like when I was trying to be funny. But if we go through them, first episode, gone, stupid. It's just an aliens. It's trying to be Alien Earth without being good. Second episode had freaking zombies.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, for God's sake. The third episode with Trelawney promised so much. It promised so much.
Yeah.
And it partly delivered. I think, is that fair to say? It
Yeah.
almost delivered. The Derby guy playing Trelawney, it was not really definitely Trelawney, but it freaking was. And also, it's a remake again, and it pushes canon again, because really, in the episode when they then meet Trelawney, in the Lord of Gothos, Lord, it's not Lord, is it? Squire of Gothos. They should know who he is. Spock and Kirk should both go, oh, it's you again. But they're surprised by him. So that annoys me. And in the fourth one, nothing about it is good. I don't know. No. There's some bits in it that are good, but it's just bad. The whole bit at the start, Sarah, what do you think about the first bit at the start? Before
where they were like clearly just making fun of TOS. Yeah. Like, I didn't like that at all. It was like, I get what they were trying to do, but it was just bad. And I don't like, what's his name? Wesley.
Paul Wesley.
I do not like him as Kirk at all. He's not Kirk. I'm sorry.
He's really bad in it. So the end bit was going.
Yeah, it's like,
what are you doing?
I mean, he was trying to do, Shatner or whatever, but it's like, it just.
He does an insulting impression of Shatner. It's I don't think it matter. Somebody said to me, "Oh, Saturday Night Live did an impression of Shatner, and you're not upset about that?" And I goes, "No, because Saturday Night Live is a comedy show. This isn't actually Star Trek."
Like they're supposed to do.
I'm like, it's a bit different, mate. It's just bad. I don't like Gene Roddenberry. Basically, Anson Mount was playing Gene Roddenberry's character. If it was sort of like a parody, and I'm like, well, you're not making Gene Roddenberry look great. And this is like the daddy of Star Trek. I mean, what are you doing?
Right. And it was just kind of a repeat of that, Elementary, My Dear Data, or whatever that episode was from TNG.
Yeah.
It was a lot like that.
Yeah, there was a lot going on in that. I mean, it was basically the same premise. It was the same premise.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. And I was like, really?
I quite liked how they did the whole thing with the again, the whole thing where they couldn't get him off. They couldn't get him out of the holodeck because I think that's straight out of Elementary, My Dear Data, and a couple of other episodes where for different reasons they got trapped and couldn't do anything about it. So they just stole that. I did like how it was basically going to destroy the Enterprise if they didn't turn it off. I thought that was quite clever. But did you notice when the neutron star throws out all that gamma radiation, they thought, we're going to die. If we get hit by this, we're going to die. It clearly gets full-blown hit by one of the things with the gamma radiation.
No, I didn't notice. But
the whole ship is flying through. It just goes poof, through the entire ship. And then it sort of goes, they do it like doing this finish. And then another wave hits just the engine and the back end of the ship. And I'm like, they weren't bothered. Everything seemed fine. I'm just like, you haven't thought this crap through at all.
No.
But yeah, it was just, there's very little positive to say about it. It did feel like it was taking the piss out of the original series. I know that wasn't their intention, but it did feel like it.
They were trying to be funny, and it just wasn't.
No. And we're only on episode 4, and we've already had 2 silly, quirky episodes.
Yeah.
Half of them. Yeah.
I saw a comment earlier that said there's a Muppet episode. Is that true?
Yeah. Right.
I remember joking about it. I thought it was a joke.
But done by Brian Henson and Jim Henson's production company, to be fair. They've done the puppets, which I do like. I do
Fingers
appreciate.
Crossed. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, no, it's going to be bad. Don't even start with me. It's going to be terrible. The thing I'll say about that is it's like, the 200th episode of Stargate, sorry. Yeah. They did a puppets episode. They did a puppets bit of that. There's 4 bits of that basically. They did a puppets bit. They did a bit where they did Wormhole Extreme. And they did a bit where they did Farscape. Basically, which was again a parody thing, which it feels again like Star Trek have just done. And what was the 4th bit?
Wizard of Oz? Was it that one?
They did the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
So we're going to get a Wizard of Oz episode.
Yeah.
Well, you can argue actually. I'm trying to think. I think we've had an episode similar to that already. But it does feel like Alex Kurtzman watched the 200th episode of Stargate and go, people quite like this. Let's do that. And I'm actually, Stargate fans are very mixed about it, but we let it slide because it's the 200th episode, and we know they were just like going, it's good, crazy, blah, something.
Right. And there was 20 episodes a season or whatever at the time.
22 or 24 episodes spent on
it.
So we let it off, and we enjoyed it for what it was, because it was never supposed to be. That is separate from Stargate completely. And actually, they did come up with quite a good reason why they were doing it, because they had that guy, didn't they, from the thing?
Yeah, that alien guy.
It was basically writing different.
What's his name?
Things.
Barry or something. I don't think that's his name. But is it Barry? I don't remember what his name was. But anyway.
But yeah. But again, it was just like, oh, for God's sake. I know they're trying to do different genres, but you don't have to do all of them.
No.
Especially if you only have those 8 or 10, 12 episodes, because then you're overtaking story rather than just having a good time and giving your fans extra that they might like that doesn't take away from the main line. It's now taking away from that main line, it seems.
It does feel happy about it. Yeah, well, it does feel like a Kiefer Goldsmith, who does seem to be the main. They've always said we're going to genre bend, which is annoying as hell. But it does feel like they've gone, this week, what should we do? We'll go do a horror episode. Should we have some Star Trek in that? Oh, God, no. We'll just do a horror episode. What should we do this week? We'll do a romantic comedy. Should we have some sci-fi in that? Well, it is board. We are setting against aboard the Enterprise. That'll do, won't it? Like, no, that's a fucking Star Trek episode. And I remember Anson Mount did an interview and he said, Star Trek's virtually a genre on its own then. I go, it's brilliant. Do some of it.
Yeah, exactly. Let's do a Star Trek episode.
Yeah, just okay. Even when they try to do a serious Star Trek episode, it's still something else. The Gorn episodes are horror. They're horror. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to do an alien type thing.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, they're 100% they're xenomorphs, mate. If they scratch you or they bite you, they basically lay eggs in you. And those eggs that's how they basically mate. And those eggs then poison you and they grow inside you and then they pop out. They pop out of basically what looks like massive green zits, to be fair. So it was a bit different.
Ew.
But that's how they mate and it kills you. That's a freaking xenomorph. I'm sorry, but it just is.
Yeah.
They're going, do you think people will notice if we change it a bit? Nah, probably not, because nobody's ever watched Aliens. So how would they know? I'm sorry, I get so annoyed about this.
The Gorn are the lizard guys, right? That have been around for forever? Okay.
Yeah.
They've got their own empire and everything, so they're still about now. But I don't know how they got to a point where we like humans because they help us mate to, you're all right. But apparently at some point they're going to just be all right. But they've killed millions of colonists and been terrorizing that whole area of space. But by the time it gets to TNG,
yeah. Oh God.
And again, how William Shatner's Kirk didn't recognize the Gorn in the episode where the big rubber Gorn attacks him.
Right.
I don't know. He should have gone. In that whole episode, the whole thing was that you didn't really know who the adversary was. For you, Harris, there's an episode of the original series. It's one of the famous ones. Kirk is on a planet and the Gorn is on a planet and they're basically pitched against each other. I think both have crashed, haven't they? I think, if I remember. It's been a while since I watched it.
It's when he's fighting the big lizard guy.
Yeah, so he's fighting the big lizard guy and really badly. And he's got a cratchy chop. It's one of those episodes. And then basically they end up having to sort of, I don't think they end up working together at the end, but Kirk ends up like not killing him and all this something, blah, blah, blah. But Kirk should have just gone, but he didn't.
Yep.
Which is, again, just weird. So there's so many bits in this series. Like, they should have gone, oh, Trelawney, hello, mate. We've seen you before. Oh, please don't make us get married. When they did the original series episode. I'm telling you, these gits are seriously going to remake the original series. I think that's what they're building up to. They're going to pig and remake the original series.
Oh, no.
And I think that will be when I just go, actually, you know what? Never mind Kurtzman getting a new contract. I think I'm going to go burn Secret Hideout's headquarters now. So if you also think I'm coming to America, mate, and I might need an alibi. Just be worried. I'm gonna go and burn down Secret Hideout.
You have to come Comic-Con weekend. And any agents listening to this, don't.
Right. And then I'll dress up as an Andorian or something, and you've got to as well, and then you've got to pretend to be me while I'm burning down Secret Hideout's studio space.
Yeah, that'll work.
I think for legal reasons, I might have to say that I'm joking. For legal reasons, I'm not going to do it.
I'm ready.
But legally, I would never.
To shape.
So, yeah. And I would never cause criminal damage. Okay.
Weren't y'all like excited for this season a little bit? Isn't what's his name that plays Riker, the director of the whole thing?
Jonathan Frakes?
Yeah,
Jonathan
I do
Frakes,
like
yeah.
Jonathan Frakes. I do like, and I think he did a really good job with Picard season 3.
Mm-hmm.
But he can only do with what he's got written down.
Yeah.
And mate, to be honest, the one thing I'll always find strange to you, it is beautifully made. What did I say?
Mm-hmm.
Jonathan Frakes. Is that what I said?
Yeah, no, he was just
okay, just helping out. It's beautifully made. It's well. It's actually the writing. The dialogue is okay. It's just what they then do is the problem.
Right.
But you can't argue with the production value. The production value is excellent.
Mm-hmm.
It's just what they do with that production value.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah.
It does feel like they're running out of ideas, though, doesn't it, Sarah? It does feel like they're just like, what episode of Star Trek do people like?
Or like they're just going too far down this thing of like, oh, let's do like you said, like an alien episode or whatever episode, the genre blending thing or whatever. It's like they just went too far down that road of like, oh, this is great, this is awesome, let's keep doing this. And I just think that was a bad idea.
I mean, Sci-Fi's done that before. Stargate did loads of episodes, and actually Brad Wright was even admitting, goes, yeah, we were inspired by blah blah blah, and we did our own version. But again, you got 24 episodes, so there does have to be a bit of like 4 o'clock in the morning, like, oh God, what are we doing next? Oh God, we need something. I just watched Lawnmower Man. We'll do that for the love of God. It's just like, there must be nothing. Voyager had basically Predator. They had a villain that was basically the Predator. It was I want to say it was the Huron or something like that. I forget now. But they were a species that hunted. That's what they did. And they were in 3 or 4 Voyager episodes. Somebody in the comments is going to tell me what they were called. It was something, I'm sure it was. So we've done this before, but it's just like when it was 24 episodes, it was more forgivable. When it's 10 episodes, you're like, you've got like a year to think this up.
Yeah, I agree. You got time to think up and do real Star Trek and maybe one fun episode.
Exactly, one fun episode at the end. It's TNG, seriously, they were writing the script. They used to start 3 or 4 months before and try and get as many done as they could. But they're saying by mid-season, they'd run out of time. So they were literally writing episodes and doing the dialogue the day before. Brent Spiner talks about how he did an episode that was mostly him. It was one of those, because what they used to do to try and like give the actors a break, so they weren't just like running to the ground. They would have certain episodes that were just focused on 1 or 2 actors, and it gave the other actors a chance to like take a break. So Brent Spiner was saying like, okay, so there's one of those episodes. It was me. I think it was Data's Day. So it says, so I had like 40 pages of script to learn overnight, and I had to do it like immediately. But he says, but then you're supposed to have a break. The next episode is mostly me as well. It nearly killed me. But they were saying that, so they just didn't memorize them. They just sort of like read them through, got a thing, and then they would do a scene and they go, okay, what's the next one? Okay, I remember that bit on that. So that's how they used to have to do it, sort of thing. But it was like Brent Spiner said, like, so they were writing episodes literally as they were going. Right. These Muppets have got months.
Oh yeah, they should have everything done. I mean, except for tweaking things or whatever. But yeah,
they don't do that anymore. The writers used to be in the studio. That's how they used to do it. The writers would be there and they'd be watching it, and they could almost move things straight away. The director would be like, I don't like that bit. That doesn't make sense. And the writer would be there, they're going, I know what you mean. Let's change it. Do this. They don't do that anymore. Writers aren't there, so they write the episodes. The studio agrees them, and then they basically have to do it exactly as the back to verbatim. They get a little bit of leeway, but not a great deal. I remember sort of things in episode where they did the crossover with Lower Decks. A lot of the actors were going, "Oh well, we got to play with the script. We never get to do that." So it was loads of fun. I'm like, yeah, because normally it's got to be the script that's been agreed by the studio.
Yeah.
So so they've got no excuse. They need to get it right, or have the writer on the thing. Because I would say, when you're doing something, it can look great on the page. But when you do it in real life, it's just like that's not right. If the writers aren't there, what are you going to do? It's too late, sort of thing. You've just got to do it. If it's not right, it's not right. And this isn't right. It's just not right.
So I might poke the bear a little bit here because Peter just brought up a good point, and I hate it. It's a great point, but I hate
Wesley is actually the guy that plays Kirk on Strange New Worlds. No, it's Peter Moore. No, I was wrong one. Peter Wesley's somebody that comments on my channel quite a lot. Anyway, go on, Peter Moore. What do we say?
He's a too many ex-theater kids running shows now. And as somebody that is an ex-theater kid, and, we have a Greg who is running a theater show in the Edinburgh Fringe Festival right now. Go get tickets if y'all are in the
Edinburgh.
UK.
It's in Edinburgh.
There we go. How he said it. How he said it.
British space.
I messed it up 3 times.
No,
in the one
British space, right? A city name. Ask me first, please.
Okay. I got you.
Because when it's Birmingham, I'll ask you first. Right?
It's Birmingham.
Even though it's named after Birmingham, which is in this country, and you can't even get that right. Birmingham.
Well, eventually. The English language evolves. But anyway, too many ex-theater kids running shows.
Dictionary. It's not supposed to evolve. We wrote it down for you, and you still can't get it right.
Y'all changed it so many times over the years.
Yeah.
Anyway, Shakespeare wrote a whole extra English language just while he was alive. He's just anyway.
No, he didn't.
He added over 300 words into the dictionary. People literally speak differently because of one guy.
It wasn't a dictionary then.
I know, but he added words to the language that became part of what was added into a dictionary.
The dictionary down and it stopped. No, English language, it does evolve slightly, to be fair. They add and subtract words from the dictionary all the time. But you idiots took it and then went, I don't like how that's spelled. It's too hard to say. We'll drop some of the letters out of it.
Yeah. We just simplified.
Hey, slang, baby.
Hey, it's better than what the Aussies did. They went in a completely different direction. That's like, we don't like that, copper. Let's do something completely different. And let's call our city Chimajobba Jing Bong Boo. Okay, we do that then.
Okay. The thought here. You're gonna not like it, but you might find it at the end here. Too many theater kids running shows. Do we need? Because I think the showrunner wise, that makes perfect sense. You need your theater kids. You need your people that have been ingratiated with film, and in love with acting, and love with all of this. Those are the people that probably should be showrunning and heading these things up. That doesn't mean that they should be the end-all to end-all in every writer's room, though.
No.
So the example I'm about to give, you're going to hate. But a sci-fi show, whether it's a cartoon or not, that genre bends all the time and has the most amount of PhDs in a writer's room of any show of all time, Futurama, is excellent, and it is so much fun. It's dumb, smart, sure. It can do its different things when it wants to do its different things. The only point I'm trying to, I guess, to maybe see if Star Trek could borrow theirs, do you think they could use a couple PhDs in their writer's room? Have people that actually understand the concepts that they're trying to put forth to further them out a little bit, and instead of just having your average Joes almost there to be like, this is a fun concept, or let's genre bend this concept, and instead of going into the science, let's lean into horror, or let's lean into Muppets, or let's lean into this. Because the thing that y'all keep talking about, I feel like, is Star Trek is missing Star Trek and doing everything else. Would one of those PhDs or two of those PhDs, something like that, in that writer's room, help bring a little bit of that essence back? Maybe
it wouldn't hurt. It wouldn't hurt. It's a good idea. We just need. I think the main thing is people that truly love Star Trek and will respect the canon. I think that's the big thing.
Then they know Star Trek would be nice. Instead of making mistakes and then constantly having to try and retrocon them after.
Yes.
Oh no, we need to make a mistake, but this is why.
Right.
God, please don't do that again.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. If Neil deGrasse Tyson was in any Star Trek writer's room, I think he would
DeGrasse Tyson. This is a whole different
DeGrasse
version
Tyson.
of English.
Grassy.
What are you doing?
There's an E on it, so leave me alone. When there's two S's, it's DeGrasse. So Neil deGrasse Tyson, no, you spell grass. I think he would go most writers' room going, no, you can't do that. No, that doesn't make any sense. No, you can't. And Neil deGrasse Tyson is flexible with these things, but he would probably go, no, that's not right. This isn't right. Don't do that. Could you imagine him in the musical episode? He'd be like, you want to do it? Why? Okay. Okay, that doesn't make any sense, but you go for a go. Yes, they need somebody, right? And TNG, there always used to be a consultant. I don't know if they do on Strange New Worlds or not. I've never noticed, but in TNG, they always used to be a physics consultant. And when there were new theories out there, the consultant would give them ideas, like things like the Dyson sphere that was theorized by the bloke that then made the vacuum cleaner. It wasn't comedy gold. This is me. So this was theorized. So a physics guy came to them and basically went, "This has been theorized. You could do an episode on it." And then somebody wrote the script and they had an episode of the Dyson sphere in. So they would do that. Strange New Worlds doesn't do that. There are loads of really good scientific theories at the moment. And that they could run with. Right. The one thing they did a couple of years ago, there was a star that kept blinking, basically, but it seemed to be blinking randomly, and we still don't know why now. There must be something going around the star that keeps making it sort of dim and then lighten, but it's not like constant. It's like a pulsar. It'll be like and all over the place. So one of the theories was it could actually be a kind of alien structure around it, almost like a Dyson sphere, but not a complete thing. So I'm just there going, that's a perfect start for a Star Trek episode. Go and find it. You know what I mean? Go and find that object and do an episode on it. It'd be brilliant. But no, they ain't going to do that. You know, there's loads of things in physics that they could do an interesting episode on. If there was a consultant there going, okay, what's hot in physics right now? This, and this. Right, I will do an episode, and that sounds fascinating. We'll do an episode on it. It's what TNG used to do all the time. Yeah. They used to do episodes that are based on theories at the time that have now been proved to be wrong. But other than that, at the time, that would be good. That would be science, little fiction. You know what I mean? There's science. They keep throwing in Easter eggs, but occasionally I think they do it wrong. So they try to do like they did in section 31. You know, they did the half black and white species. I think they're called, but from the original series again, and that was supposed to be, it's an Easter egg. Anybody that actually watched that episode are going, yeah, they're dead. They clearly die in the episode. There's 2 men left, and unless those 2 men had babies, which nowadays don't know if they're right, I suppose. But and they're trying to kill each other at the end of the episode, so I don't know how that happened. Those don't exist. So they did an Easter egg that was supposed to make everybody go, "Oh, I remember that episode," but actually Star Trek fans going, "I remember that episode. He's dead." He doesn't exist.
Clones.
Clones. They cloned him. The thing about the episode is the whole point of the episode was they killed each other because they were bigoted, so they destroyed each other. It was the whole point. So not only did they piss on the fact that they've got the thingy wrong, they pissed on the whole premise of the story. Right. Yeah, true. Well, on your theatre point, I would love people that actually have a good background in theatre. I think it's like having a job. You need to earn your chops, sort of thing. And I actually think actors are the same. Actors that have had a good basis in theatre are generally much better actors.
Right. Game of Thrones, House of Dragon proves that pretty easy.
Yeah, exactly. Earn your chops. You know what I mean? It's like earn your thing. And like Patrick Stewart was in theatre for years. He'd never been on telly, and he got into Star Trek, and he actually thought, "Oh, this is not going to do my." career any good. I'm running around in pajamas, and obviously now, it's like we all know who Patrick Stewart is. So I think this is why, you're saying like how British actors are way better than American actors always.
Almost.
Sorry, I just want to see how I just sort of said it. But no, I mean, we actually, what's fair to say is we punch above our weight when it comes to the theatrical arts, and I would say songs and things like that as well. We've got some of the biggest bands in the world. Considering the size of the UK, it's a bit weird, really. We punch above our weight. And we've got brilliant actors that are some of the best in the world from a country that's pretty small, really. So we do have a good history of it, but that's because we've got a good theatre base. I think we've got a really good theatrical history. It just creates better actors. But I would say directors, all that sort of thing. If you can do it on a stage, it makes you. I'll put this: it forces you to do things in a very enclosed space. So it makes you have to do an awful lot with not a lot. So it forces you to be really creative. Yeah, you're directing very good actors and things, so that you have to be pretty good. Because I mean, if you direct Patrick Stewart, you better know what you're talking about, because he will tell you you're not doing it right. I would say as well, set building and all that sort of thing. It makes you be creative. It forces you to think out of the box a little bit. A good basis in theatre, I think, is really vital. And also from a showrunner,
I would agree.
If you can see things in that sort of way, but then just make it bigger, I don't think it's a bad basis at all. I think it's almost like an education. I think it's a really good education to then go into something, to go into TV, go into movies. It gives you a really good basis. It's a good education sort of thing. And it's the sort of thing, doing TV, movies and stuff, you can't really go to university and learn. Not really. No. You can learn the history, you can learn the mechanics of it, but you then need to learn by doing a little bit of mistakes, and you know what I mean, and it's like that. So again, theatre lets you do that, whereas I don't think TV and movies really give you the time to play with things as much.
Yeah,
right. Yeah, because they got their schedule, and you gotta
The best thing, especially if you have a showrunner that, or someone in the director's helm or executive producer, whatever, one of the head honchos on a set somewhere, and y'all do what David asked. He's the thing. He's asking you to do it. Be careful.
He will do an unflattering AI picture of you if you don't.
Be prepared. Just that theater kid thought. Showrunner, maybe not the whole writer's room. You might need a couple PhDs just for the sake of some stuff, especially in a science fiction world, or just people that understand the concept, so on and so forth.
Yes.
Get old Stormy Bear in a couple writers' room. That'd be great. Come on.
Yeah.
But it's like doing a medical drama and not having like an MD knocking around that can actually tell you when somebody's bullshit or not. It's
or SG1 without an Air Force consultant or something like that. Like, come on.
Yeah.
That theater kid showrunner, though, I'm with you, as in, if that person's leading the charge, that can be good, because the three things, or two or three things that are really good that they can do, is think on the fly, because they're used to having to, hey, if anything goes wrong, first off in there is be prepared, as far more prepared than most people are, because theater people are expecting things to go wrong, but want to minimize what can go wrong. So they try to, be prepared as possible to prevent that poor performance there. Then they can think on the fly, and they know, like you were saying, all the staging aspects of everything. It's just, it makes sense with the asterisks, but fill out the writer's room with people that the theater kid makes sense in that position. The writer's room, you need people that make sense in that position as well. I mean, just simple as that. Star Trek, what you doing? With this conversation as well, obviously not being as familiar with everything, and trying to correlate it in my brain to things I am familiar with.
You mentioned Star Wars. I'm going to punch you in the dick.
So Star Wars has an issue that.
How did I know?
Star Wars has an issue, a Skywalker issue. They can't get out of the Skywalker's way. Does Star Trek have the same issue, but not necessarily for one or two or three or four characters, but for the era that they're stuck in? Do you think, like with James Mangold's new little Jedi movie that he's doing, that's going, way back at the beginning of Star Wars or beginning of the Jedi and all that. Do you think Star Trek needs something that's just completely in a different era of time, or something that just stands apart from everything else ahead of itself?
You don't know Star Trek, so I feel sorry for you in a way. Bless you.
Yeah.
Star Trek have already done that repeatedly, like literally several, but they have got a Luke Skywalker problem. They keep redoing. We're on our third James T. Kirk and our third Spock at the moment. They've already done it, mate. We've had prequels right back at the Federation. Discovery went just before the original series. Strange New Worlds is based before the original series, and Discovery then shot like 600 years or something in the future. So we've done it. What we want, I don't know about you, Sarah, but as a Trekkie, what I want is a series that just follows on from Deep Space Nine and keeps a continuity going.
Yeah, I would like that too.
We don't need that, and Skywalker is a perfect simile that they keep getting stuck. You know, how many times have I joked that is there only basically Tatooine in Star Wars?
Yeah, just a bunch of
the only planet they seem to bother with.
Space desert.
Star Trek feels like the only starship that anyone cares about is the Starship Enterprise. Other than that, nobody cares. They did Enterprise, right, and called it the NX-01 because it was canon that the Enterprise was the first starship Enterprise. And then we got the NX 1701A and B, C, D. So blah, blah, blah. There's obviously the Enterprise aircraft carrier now. There's an Enterprise old wooden, I think it was actually a British warship.
A tall ship,
Yeah, tall ship. There was another Enterprise that they just threw in that was a thing, a ship, something. So I've always said that Enterprise, my biggest problem with Enterprise was that they called it the Enterprise. And why didn't they just call it the Endeavour or something? They should have named it after one of the other shuttles, maybe, and just gone. They should have just called it the Endeavour. But they didn't, because they're obsessed with the original series and remaking what people know. This comes down to J. Michael Straczynski was talking about how he desperately wanted to do the Babylon 5 series that I then exclusively told everyone wasn't going to happen, and he called me a twat. I was mentioning it. He said basically people kept saying, why can't you just do Babylon 4 or Babylon 6 or something? Why do you have to do things? Well, because for one, the whole bit at the start says this is the last of the Babylon stations, but so
that's right.
Well, you could have done 1, 2, or 3, but he basically said nobody will buy it. People only care about Babylon 5. They won't buy it. So I've got to do a remake. It's the only thing that'll get any interest at all. And it feels like Star Trek, Star Wars, whatever. They're just like, how do we mention the original?
Yeah.
And everyone else is like, oh, why don't you do something new? You could even that with Mandalorian.
Oh yeah.
Mandalorian is a brilliant series, and you could say it's original, but he looks an awful lot like the guy from the original series. So it's sort of like they've done it again. It's sort of like they've always got to hark something back to the original series. So, and I think that's why they're going to remake the original series for Star Trek. I think that's their plan. And I think
that's a great starting point for me.
Well, yeah. Well, you don't have to watch the original series because they're going to remake it. I think they're going to have to admit that Strange New Worlds is a different timeline at some point. They're making so many mistakes. Yes, I think you will, won't you? They are going to redo the original series if they get a new contract. They seem to. I think that's why they've redone Khan, and they've changed the Khan timeline, because they're going to. I think they're genuinely thinking ahead to, if they do Star Trek Year 1, they can bring Khan into it. And redo it, sort of thing. I think that's why they've got certain characters in there like Lan, Noonien Singh, because they're planning. And I think that's why they're changing certain things. Why Kirk is constantly in the series, even though it makes absolutely no sense that he'd be there again. Out of all the millions of people that they've gotten to transport, so Harris, one of the things they did with this episode that's just gone that me and Sarah both hate. Is they had a holodeck characters, so they're like avatars sort of thing. They're computer generated with shields and stuff, and you interact with them.
Right.
So, but they said they basically needed so much information about the person to be able to make a realistic avatar, whatever. They used the transporter logs. So obviously, when they transport somebody, they've got like an exact information because a transporter kills you and then remakes you. It's basically a big photocopier. So that's how they did it. So they had Kirk had transported about hundreds of people transport. There's 300 people on the Starship Enterprise. They didn't use any of them. They just, for some reason, used Kirk again because Paul Wesley's there going, I'm on contract. You can put me in 2 episodes. So they had to. No sense. So that's what they keep doing. But then, I am 100% certain they are planning, if they get a new contract, to remake the original series. Yeah. And I am going to be irritated if they do.
Yeah. They got to do alternate timeline or something because it's just, they can't. Everybody's going to hate that. Anybody who's a Trekkie is going to hate it.
Yeah, well, it feels like Strange New Worlds. There's a snowball effect in there. They've never done, other than Khan, which they've completely messed with canon and tried to come with some bullshit where they did it. There's lots of little mistakes, isn't it? It feels like there's lots of little things like, okay, it's not necessarily breaking canon, but I'm really stretching like my logic here. But it's snowballing. It's like a million little things. It seems to be. That's not quite right. That's not quite right.
It adds up, and it just doesn't feel like. Again, it just feels like people that are doing a show and they're not paying attention to the details, the finer details of Star Trek. And I think Trekkies want those finer details respected, I guess, or maintained.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, and I think I've mentioned this before, but it's like the creators are sort of like, Star Trek fans aren't geeky, are they? They don't like obsessive with details, do they?
Exactly. That's like they're not getting who Star Trek fans are.
I think it's the same for Star Wars fans, isn't it? I think a lot of Star Wars fans have gone nuts over things that I don't. I think you've even explained to me, they did this and they changed this and they changed that, and I'm like, I don't know. What
it's the whole joke. Blup Shido is just any random background character you want to name is like everybody's got a name. This crazy elaborate backstory. They're from this planet. They married this person. Their cousin's this person, and they're related to Luke Skywalker this way. Like it's some kind of random, like full circle thing, and you're like, all right.
6 degrees of Skywalker.
Yeah. I've got a video coming out tomorrow though about La'an Noonien Singh, right? Because La'an is basically the granddaughter of Khan.
Right.
So she's aboard the ship. So basically my video is about why don't Kirk and Spock sort of go, Noonien Singh? We know a Noonien Singh when they meet Khan later on. Right. And worse, Spock's now started a relationship with her. Why didn't he go, I've banged her. I've banged your grandkid. High five. Something. I mean, it's just like, why don't they know? Why don't they, again, my problem with La'an is why did they do it? Again, I think it's because they're planning on remaking the series. Why would you put La'an Noonien Singh in there? Because they must have known that's going to step on canon at some point. They must have. They've done it for a reason. Yeah. And either it's an Easter egg, they go, and that's a bit of mystery, but then they haven't really thought it through. Oh, well, we'll do something with it at some point. Or they have done it for a reason that will become apparent at some point. But it does blow the whole Khan storyline out of water. It doesn't make any sense because they should know who he is. They sort of said in the original series that it was sort of lost to thing because World War III happened and they sort of lost the history a little bit, and they had to look like they basically had to Google him, but they really weren't sure who he was. But I'm like, no, you know his granddaughter. that don't work. Yeah. So it's things like that all the time. You're just going, what are you doing? And I imagine Star Wars is sort of similar at times, where it's going, but they can't do anything original. It feels like it's everything's got to.
Yeah, it's let's just take something that's been done before and change it a little bit, and so it feels familiar, and everybody can go like, "Oh, I remember that," but it's like they're not getting it.
Yeah. No.
Well, I think I finally understand how y'all feel because I could read the distaste and the frustration in Trekgate's last 3 messages here. He said, I have an idea. Let's have an episode where Pike and number 1 go on a shuttle and try to break the warp barrier. Pike turns into a lizard. He then takes number 1 with him, and then they turn into salamanders. And from there, they have salamander children. They don't care about canon. It's like, I just read it.
That's referencing a Voyager thing. I think you don't know.
Oh no. Okay, it sounds like the most frustrated thing possible.
Yeah.
It's a Voyager episode that people sort of love to hate.
Yeah.
Because it makes no sense. And
Threshold,
I love when
I
they
think
did the little. They mocked it in Lower Decks. I was just like,
yeah.
But,
I have to watch Lower Decks. I really missed the boat on that. I got to watch it.
It's definitely worth. Now they do Easter eggs well. They've got loads and loads of little references to TNG all the way through. And I get that people sometimes don't like it. They get frustrated because it's a comedy basically. But because it's animated, I'm okay with it. It's like canon, but it's not.
Watch Futurama!
You're making Harris crazy
right
now.
It's much better than Futurama. But no, it's because I don't have anything wrong. I don't have any problem with Futurama. I loved Futurama. I've stopped watching it because I've become a grown up. But I tacking
more
on
than any other show in the world.
No, I know it is. It's not the best show ever made, mate. Come on. Lower Decks, I've always felt, was an animated love letter to the next generation. It's like Mike McMahon is the showrunner, and he's just gone. I love this phase. It follows on. It's about the right time for TNG. It would have been followed just after TNG, so all the ships look the same, sort of thing. And they make references to TNG constantly. I've always said that this was the problem with Prodigy. Right, so Lower Decks is made for adults. It's made for people to watch TNG that we're in like our 30s and 40s now. So if you've watched TNG, you'll get it. You'll go, oh, I love that Easter egg. I love that little comment. I love that little joke. It's all the way through. You won't get a lot of the jokes unless you've watched TNG. You just won't. So what they did is they created Prodigy, which is for children. They put it on the Cartoon Network that references Voyager constantly, and that's fine. But unless you've watched Voyager, you're not going to get most of it. You're going to watch Captain Janeway desperately trying to find Chakotay, and you're just going to go, as a 5-year-old kid, who the hell is Chakotay, and why should I be bothered? Do you know what I mean? It's just like, so they just didn't think it through at all.
Right.
And they should have just done a Star Trek related cartoon that was aimed at kids, but they reference Voyager constantly. Lower Decks, though, it's just a love letter to. You must watch it, Sarah.
Yeah, no, I know I will like it. My husband watched some of it and says it's really good, and he's a big Trekkie also. So, I got to do that.
It's that perfect show because it's only like 20 minutes. Perfect show to put on. It's like 9:15 or something, and you're like, oh, I want to go to bed in half an hour or so, but I just need something just to like. It's one of those shows you must watch it for 20 minutes, and or you're getting ready, or you put it on the. It's brilliant. You'll love the characters. You will adore the crossover episode of Strange New Worlds even more. There's so many references in that episode from Lower Decks that you'll adore it. And there's one point where Boimler does like his power walk, his speed walk in Strange New Worlds, because he does it constantly in Lower Decks. And you'll just get the characters. You'll understand the characters way better. And so I would say watch Lower Decks and then watch that episode of Strange New Worlds again, and you will enjoy it 3 times more. You'll just be like, oh my god, that's so brilliant.
That sounds like a show where it's somebody who loved it.
Yeah.
Did it. Yeah.
There's so many references. If Mike McMahon, he must have adored it, because there's so many references that are so subtle that only proper Star Trek fans will even get. Like the salamanders. There's one point where they're aboard the Voyager and they have to take the Voyager back to this fleet museum. And they go, all goes horribly wrong. But one of the there's all the way through, there's little, it's like a museum now. So there's like little, I can't think what the word is. Little animatronic things from the different missions and stuff all the way through. And one of it is 2 salamanders going, and unless you knew the Voyager episode, you just wouldn't get it. You wouldn't get the reference. But obviously Trekkies are like, what's that thing?
Threshold.
That's just because it's so stupid and logical. I suppose, Brendan. Yeah, exactly. Star Trek Spock's brain is such a stupid episode. They even reference it in the Voyage Home. One of the things goes, "Well, have you got no brain?" And Spock goes, "What? That's illogical." So they're going to throw a reference to Spock's brain. So a reference to that. It's so good. I've got to watch Star Trek 5 though now.
Oh, yeah.
I love bits of that film, but oh my god, as a whole, it's just not good. But there are bits of it that are brilliant. It's one of the best openers to a Star Trek film. Unfortunately, they go find God, but whatever.
Well, Norm is bringing up a point. Howdy, by the way. He said, I think that this is the development of the Kelvin timeline. Do you think that kind of fits with the theory, or you think it's just a straight remake, or do you think they're kind of separating and doing a little same but different?
I don't think it's Kelvin because it is past the point of the Kelvin split. And we know Kirk's timeline on Kelvin. It's different to Kirk's timeline. Kirk's timeline at the moment is past, is more in line with what we call prime timeline. So he's aboard the Farragut, he's aboard things. So that's what he was never aboard the Farragut in the Kelvin timeline. So it's not the Kelvin timeline.
Okay.
The argument for it being a different timeline is actually Enterprise. So the series they did, Enterprise, with Scott Bakula, oh god, nearly 20 years ago now. Bakula, yeah. Say Bakula because you get loads of comments, even though you know it's Bakula, and I still got loads of comments. It's brilliant. If you want loads of comments on a video, say a name wrong. But that game mentioned that. So we had the Temporal Cold War, and they basically had a really good show, a really good premise. The showrunners didn't want to do the Temporal Cold War, but the executives over at Paramount made them. So they did their best with it. So you had this Temporal Cold War. This is basically future people coming back and blah, blah, blah. And there's loads of points in Enterprise that people have sort of gone, did that change the timeline? So that this is, rather than the Kelvin timeline, which created a vastly different sort of timeline, mainly because the theory is the Federation actually got hold of future technology back then. So that's why all the starships are different and way more powerful and blah, blah, blah. Because we got this Romulan technology from the future. They're saying, is it actually just a slight variation? So we've actually, because of the events of Enterprise, it's created a slight variation in the timeline where it runs kind of the same, but there's the odd difference here and there.
Right.
So it's the Kelvin timeline is vastly different. The Kurtzman timeline is just one fuck up after another.
So there's the prime timeline. The Kelvin was his Abrams, and then Disco Kurtzman. And
that's the theory,
kind of correlated times.
Kurtzman and Akiva Goldsman have always said that these shows are prime timeline. They've always said it's set in the same timeline as TNG, TNG, DS9, Voyager, and the original series. So this is supposed to be the prime timeline, which is why it is irritating so many fans, because we're just like, well, it's not. Just tell us it's a different timeline, because they can't fire.
It's not prime. It's not.
Similar.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's similar.
But it is.
Not. We just need Skydance who actually know how to make a TV show. Okay, fair enough. They got Bad Robot to make those movies, but that's not their fault. Skydance know how to make this sort of thing. They make all sorts, and they make Foundation. I think they make Foundation, don't they?
I believe so.
They make 2 or 3 things for Apple. There's a big rumor actually that Paramount are going to try to merge Paramount Plus with Apple, and the idea to make like a super bundle with Paramount Plus, Apple, and maybe over there Peacock. I don't know what that'll do internationally because we haven't got Peacock here, but I don't know what that'll be internationally. So I mean, that's a theory. Skydance has got a really good working relationship with Apple, but from what I'm told, the idea is that Skydance think they can do a better job. So they may not renew the contract, and it'll revert back to Paramount. Which is why people have always been saying, fire Kurtzman, fire Kurtzman. You can't fire Kurtzman. He owns the company. So you can't fire him. Or get the contract away from him. But even that's complicated, because the deal that they've signed is ridiculously weighted towards Secret Hideout. They've like got balloon payments. They've got loads of payments apparently that's Paramount have to pay them, because basically Skydance went, well, if we lose this contract, our business is done. We just go out of business, so we need stuff to protect ourselves. And Paramount, in their infinite wisdom, went, yeah, okay, and they agreed this deal that's just idiotic. I've had, I know somebody that. Let me just think what I can say there. They've seen the contract, but not why you think. Okay, anyway, so they've seen the. They don't actually work for where they worked. I think it's okay I say that. So they've seen the contract, and he was saying, as a lawyer in the entertainment industry, however they got to get this agreed, I have no freaking clue. It's so heavily weighted to Secret Hideout, it's ridiculous. And Skydance have got hold of that deal, trying to figure out how to get out of it without paying them tens of millions of dollars, and it's loads of money. The charge they've got, right? So this deal, and again, guys, you'll know if you watch my videos again. But this deal basically says that anything that's filmed but not done when the contract ends, Paramount still have to pay them to do it. So that's why they're desperately rushing at the moment to. They've filmed the first season of Academy. They've already, even though the third season of Strange New Worlds is dropping at the moment, they've already filmed the fourth.
Oh wow!
They're about to go and start filming Academy, and by the end of the year, they will film. That's the second season of Academy. The first season hasn't dropped yet, and won't until the start of next year. By the time the first season drops, they'll have already completed filming the second one. How many times you've ever heard that happen? And then they're going straight in to film the fifth season of Strange New Worlds, which is only going to be 6 episodes because they've realised that's all they can fit in. So they weren't sure they could. They weren't sure they had time for 10 before the contract ends. But Paramount will then have to pay them to complete the shows, but they basically have to pay them more because they've basically got like it's almost like a flat rate. So if you it's a bit like when you do your work for a job, not you, House. I don't think you've ever had a proper job. But when you've got a proper job and you work overtime and you get more money when you work overtime, it's basically like that. And that's one of the things Skydance are like, how do we get out of this? We have to pay them a fortune. How do we get out of it? And they're like, they can't. They can't get out of it. So that's the only reason Secret Hideout might actually get an extension to this deal. Why? But it'll be a far less favourable deal to just try to save money in the long run. So we might actually get Skydance. Secret Hideout might get an extension to the deal, and we might get more Kurtzman Star Trek just so they don't have to pay these massive balloon payments. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous.
It is. It sounds crazy.
But it's the deal Paramount signed.
Paramount, if y'all are going to sign deals like that, sign it with Taylor Sheridan again, not person. We need 1923, 2 years, seasons filmed at once, not these. We need more House of the Dragon and Game of Thrones filmed back to back, or even Rings of Power. I would prefer over that, just to make it make sense. But
well, the one benefit is that we've got to think as Star Trek fans, particularly if you don't like Kurtzman, the one little shining light is they are desperately trying to get these seasons filmed before their contract ends, because they're not sure they're getting an extension. So they are mad. The fact that the 5th season of Strange New Worlds has only got 6 episodes is proof of that. They knew that that's all they could get done. So it's all they're doing before the deal ends. Because if it's not filmed, if they haven't basically wrapped it when the deal ends, which I thought was August, but apparently it's June. Oh, wow. If that's not done, Paramount don't have to buy it, and Secret Hideout won't get any money for it. Oh wow! So it's basically Skydance under Paramount can go, that's not the deal. So it's not wrapped, so we don't have to pay for it. And then it'll be up to Secret Hideout what they do with it, because they'll have wasted millions of dollars, tens of millions of dollars producing a TV series that weirdly, because the contract will end, they won't be able to necessarily give it to Paramount, but they won't be able to sell it to anyone else because all the rights revert back to Paramount.
All they could do is a Zaslav tax write-off at that point.
they'd have to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But at the moment, Secret Hideout, if they print, I've just done a video, it's just gone live actually about, I heard a rumor, I don't think it's true, but I heard a rumor that Academy Season 2 is going to get cancelled, that Paramount weren't going to buy it. Because they're still under this deal though, Secret Hideout can then sell it to somebody else if they want to. It's exactly what they did with Prodigy. Paramount decided we don't want it. They were already halfway through making it though, so they sold it to Netflix. And people thought at the time that was Paramount selling to Netflix. It wasn't. It was Secret Hideout because they they actually have the rights to their TV shows, basically.
The distribution aspect of it.
Yeah, but also they've got the rights to anything original they do. So Prodigy was all new characters under the Star Trek umbrella. Once that deal ends, all the rights revert back to Paramount. So anything that they produce, even if it's something that's original, that Secret Hideout technically own, the Star Trek rights revert back to Paramount, so they can't do anything with it without Paramount's permission. So you're in that funny catch-22, where technically Strange New Worlds, etc., anything original in there, which is why they always throw these original characters in, whether you like it or not, even if they make sense or not, because then Secret Hideout own those characters. So Paramount technically can't do anything with Strange New Worlds after the deal ends without Secret Hideout's agreement, but Secret Hideout can't do anything because it's still Star Trek. So which Paramount owns.
Crazy.
So what I've been told basically is Secret Hideout, Skydance. I keep doing this in videos and I keep having to record videos because I've said Secret Hideout, Skydance.
It's very complicated.
Yeah. So basically, what
you know what you need?
Oh yes.
Loads of lines everywhere like that. So apparently,
red string, you know.
Is they want to either, I mean, they might give them an extension, but the deal will be far more weighted in Paramount's favor. But what they might do is basically just pay Secret Hideout off. And they will basically say, right, finish Star Trek at a reasonable rate and get it done. The rights are going to revert back to us though now. So we're going to start planning for our whatever we want to do with Star Trek. But in return, Alex Kurtzman, if you don't kick off over the contract, please, and don't take us to court, we will give you an exclusivity deal. And we might even give you like 2 or 3 movie deal sort of thing. We'll give you a deal. Because Alex Kurtzman doesn't really want to do Star Trek. He wants to do other stuff he's written. He wants to do Now You See Me 3 and things like that. Like that. So that's what I'm basically being told. Skydance are trying to figure out a package which will avoid all these massive balloon payments and costs, get the Star Trek that's done, but make Alex Kurtzman go away.
Yeah.
That
I can see that.
Where they're going.
Okay.
And it is complicated as hell.
Yeah.
Well, I know that we only have
I can see why they just want to clear the board of it and just.
Yeah, but they've got to keep Alex Kurtzman happy because the way the contract.
Then they'll have lawsuits and crap to deal with. Yeah.
That's what I was told. That actually they can end up going to court. And I was just like, that can't be right. How is that right? They've got a contract. The contract ends. How can that end up in court? Because the way the contract is written, I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. But how is that?
That's crazy.
And it's because they know their business is done. If Star Trek's taken away from them, Secret Hideout is done. So
they don't produce anything outside of Star Trek IP, correct?
Well, the original deal was they were doing Star Trek and they had an exclusivity deal. So anything else that Secret Hideout produced, they could pitch to Paramount. But it was a bit like the Bad Robot deal with Warner Brothers. They kept pitching things and Paramount were just like, no, we're not doing that. So when the renewal happened, it was just for Star Trek. So that's one of the reasons why they got a crap load of money when the renewal was done, because it was almost like a make weight of we want to get out of this exclusivity deal because you just keep. Excuse me, Star Trek was doing quite well at that point as well because it was on Netflix and stuff. So it was actually getting Discovery was getting really good views this first 2 seasons, even though it was rubbish because it was on Netflix. It was before the Paramount Plus revert. It was on CBS All Access as well, but internationally it was Netflix. So they did the renewal, but they only renewed for Star Trek. So they basically just went, right, you just crack on with Star Trek and basically stop pitching these crap ideas at us. So they got rid of the exclusivity deal, and they tied him down to Star Trek basically. But then he can't do anything else. He's tied down to Star Trek, which is why it's a similar problem with J.J. Abrams. They really wanted to see Now You See Me 3, but they can't because it's not a Warner Brothers. So he has to just do like a producer role or something. He can't do it with Bad Robot sort of thing. He has to do it sort of like separately. Kurtzman would have to do something similar. He can't do it through Secret Hive because they're tied down to Paramount, but only to produce Star Trek. So it's that complicates it even more.
Yeah, you want an extra little layer real quick? Just slide one in there.
Yeah. It's crazy. All right. Anyway, hopefully they can get it sorted out and Star Trek will get back on track.
Yeah, we'll just pretend this didn't happen.
Trek on track or whatever.
I think Star Wars fans, Star Wars fans feel a bit of the same, don't they? So let's just get back on track now.
Yeah.
And Ashoka was better. Ashoka was more like Star Wars. But let's just forget that a couple of the other series have happened.
Yeah.
Well, okay. There's a comment I've been waiting to show for a few minutes here, just because I thought it was a good comment and just wanted to see y'all's thoughts and opinions on this. Because
and I had to let you get a word in edgeways.
Well, I hope they focus on making one good Trek show instead of a bunch of mid to bad shows.
I agree.
Would y'all rather than simplify it to just do one right now?
Yeah.
I know for a fact that the Paramount bosses, a couple of Paramount big bosses that were then made redundant when Sri Redstone basically sold it, that's what they were shouting for. They were just saying, we've got to have one continuity, one that we need to have. Right. So the problem was, I bet Star Wars has a similar problem, that you've got a core set of fans that know you'll watch a series that jump around in time occasionally, don't they? But you'll know when that's set. You'll be like, all right, okay, I know when this is set because this is happening, this is happening. I know when it's set. Star Trek fans will watch something like Discovery, and we know when it's set because it gives us little things, and we know the history of this sort of thing, so we can watch it. But then they reckon that's about 30 or 40% of the audience generally. You've then got a sort of a slightly more relaxed amateur Star Wars fan that come in and out of it, will watch a movie, will enjoy it, sort of thing. They're coming out. Star Trek's got a similar thing. They're coming out of it. So the producers, the big bosses over at Paramount argument was, we're alienating a big chunk of our audience because they watch an episode and they're like, when is this set? Why is that happening? And I don't get it. So they get alienated. They stop watching it. Star Wars has had a similar problem. So these guys were just like, let's just simplify it. Let's have one continuity that follows on from Deep Space Nine or Voyager, like Legacy is supposed to. And let's just have one show, one timeline, one universe. Let's stop with the J.J. Abrams movies because that's confusing the crap out of everybody. And they stop that. But let's not have 3 shows in 3 different timelines. People don't get it.
Right.
But then that guy got sacked.
Confusing. Yeah.
Well, that same thought on the opposite end, Peter wrote literally a minute before the other one. At least we're getting some Trek as opposed to the Stargate emptiness.
True.
Would you rather have complete emptiness or a bunch of mid to bad shows? Obviously, that nice Goldilocks zone is that one really solid show, maybe 1 or 2 if they manage it, that everyone just swims along with.
Yeah.
But would you rather sit in the emptiness and wait for greatness, hopefully, and keep those fingers crossed and keep your hopes up, as we've been doing for a long time?
Yeah.
Or see the thing you love just every few months, every year, just keep furthering down and lessening itself in your own heart and brain. Which one do you prefer?
Hmm.
Because I'm going to Stargate. I'd rather not be.
Yeah, I'd rather have nothing. And
yeah,
because I've always argued, somebody will say to me, well, what if they make bad Stargate? It'll ruin. And I've always said, no, the previous Stargate is still there. You'll still love it. And just leave it alone, sort of thing. It's like, it's the same argument if Firefly comes back. You've still got the original. If it's bad, it doesn't work, you've still got the original. The problem is we now know what that feels like with Star Trek, sorry. It does affect what came before. In some ways, you love it more. In some ways, I didn't really love Enterprise at the time, but now I watch it back and I'm like, oh my God, this is so much better than I remember. So in some ways, you love it more. But I think as human beings, we emotionally connect ourselves to something. And then, unfortunately, because it's not good, it affects the way we feel about the whole thing a little bit.
Yeah.
I used to like think of as I'm a Trekkie, and now I'm like, I'm a brown coat. I'm like, you know what I mean? It's like,
right.
If you ask me, who are you? What do you? I'll say, well, I work for social services. That's a part of me. I love sci-fi. I'm a YouTuber. Not really. I'm a minor YouTuber. Yeah. I'm quite passionate. I can get quite irritated by things, and you know, I'm a Man U fan, and yeah, I used to say I'm a Trekkie because I'm a bit of a geek and I'm a Trekkie. I don't anymore. I don't consider myself a Trekkie because I'm not as obsessed with it as I once was. What are Star Wars fans called? Wars.
No, just fans of Star Wars, but I was just thinking the same thing the last couple of years. I've especially just us all SciTrek the way we do, and looking at all the different sci-fi. I just consider myself a sci-fi fan first and foremost at this point, rather than an IP fan or anything like that. Even though those IPs are, no matter what age we are, we grew up with and have lasted our entire lives, and that's, I think, one of the parts that hurts for all that. And obviously, I haven't divested and invested as much time in Star Trek, but I feel for y'all because damn.
Just stay focused on the older stuff, I guess, and the newer stuff. But there's people that love the newer stuff, like what's his name that we had on the channel, you know?
I am very intrigued just with the chronological stuff. I know it's gonna throw some people off, but I'm intrigued.
You can't do it. You can't. Everybody,
you're just pushing him to do it more.
No, but everybody that wants Star Trek is telling you you can't do it.
Right.
And Sarah just want to do it more.
You're just pushing him more into it. See, I agree with you, Jay, but I'm just not going to say anything. You know,
Sarah's a huge Trekkie. Is it Josh? I forgot his name now. What's his name?
The what? Joshua?
Josh.
It is Josh, isn't it? Joshua.
Yes.
I was talking to him literally yesterday, and his name's gone out my head. Joshua.
Yeah.
Joshua, who is also he's a bigger Star Trek nerd than me. He's telling you not to. So I'm hoping we're going to have on the chat next week. You need to get in touch with him because it will be halfway through the season.
I texted him. I need to follow up.
Terrible with social media. He'll tell you. He gets off it for a few days and then comes back. So I keep having chats with him. And it's like a massive long conversation. I don't hear from him for a few days. And then it's a massive long conversation again.
That's my MO.
He's busy though.
I get it.
Yeah, he's a writer, so he has to concentrate on his shit. But I have asked him about it, but he didn't come back to me. So we'll try and book him in for next week. And we'll do like a mid-season review. He's got a couple of reasons why he's not sure he should, but I'm sure he can talk to you about that.
All right. I got to leave in 5 minutes, so.
I want to go in 5 minutes.
Oh, yeah. That's about to be 1 hour, 45 minutes. That's a great little...
Fuck off. What time is it?
See, we got you off on Star Trek. That's the clue. That's the key. Just get him going on Star Trek.
Yeah. When I roll, when I get going, for God's sake.
Yeah.
What's wrong with Star Trek? Right.
An hour and a half later.
I'll let you both speak at some way. Is it so much easier when I'm not here? Because one of you get to actually talk. Sarah, you love it when I'm not here, right? You love it when I'm not here, don't you?
That's all right. I mean, you have, do your thing,
Peter
Yes.
I'd forgotten about this. That annoys me as well.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, if you go back to the first 10 minutes of the video, I realized at one point I hadn't put the thumbnail on yet. So I was like, and ran back. We've been doing it well, though. We got a fun little thumbnail. I explained it to you, and as I explained it, forgot to put it up there.
I like the pictures. Right, okay. It's good.
I'm not a YouTuber. You're really not a YouTuber.
I don't claim it. I don't claim it. But that was fun. I obviously not the biggest Trek person, but it is I guess it's not fun to see everybody not happy with what's going on necessarily, but
That's saying that we're frustrated because we love it.
Exactly.
Frustrated.
Yeah. I hate that it's the disappointment that does it, but it's nice to see every different fandom kind of in cahoots or camaraderie, camaraderie, I guess, at different times.
Is that a word?
That's a word.
Camaraderie?
I'm pretty sure.
Is that an American word?
I've never
I've
heard
heard
it
it before. If not, I'm Shakespeare, and we're doing an extra word today.
Camaraderie.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the competence of love, and camaraderie turns into camaraderie. We'll Steve Miller it a little bit.
Yeah.
Googling that.
Googling that.
It sounds like one of those things, like you do a question of, is this a real word or a made up word? And
just ask Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Yeah.
Neil deGrasse, but
nope.
It is now. We are setting it in stone today.
Yep. We make up our own words here.
That's how we do.
Yeah, because you're American. I know. Are you Canadian?
We established the person who made up the most words was the Brit.
Search instead for camaraderie. Nope.
I just love hockey a lot, but I'm not Canadian.
Yeah. No, I think that's what threw me for a second.
Yeah.
What was the
word?
Hockey
Season start again.
I said camaraderie. What did I say? Camaraderie?
Camaraderie.
Okay, camaraderie.
Yeah.
People, cadaverous.
Yes. That's what you meant, yeah. Same thing.
Precisely.
Okay. Goodbye, everybody.
He said cadaverous, and I wanted to explain the fun scene that we got to shoot the other day, but I can't explain it on air. So,
okay.
Appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Yay. We will see you on Wednesday, or actually, Wednesday for Stargate Outpost.
Yes.
If didn't notice last week, we had to push it forward another week. That means that's just more Stargate Universe to catch up on. Enjoy, slog through a little bit, then enjoy once it gets a little more jovial again.
Yeah, the last few episodes are good. I enjoy it. Yeah.
It takes a minute to get there.
Yeah.
Well, this has been Sci-Fi Sundays. We appreciate y'all.
Oh, you can't see me. I'm waving.
Oh, it was just me then. Go back to just me. Hi, how you doing?
And we will see y'all soon.
Bye.
Adios.